Hello guys, welcome back to El Berengue Culé. Bartomeu does it again. He put his cards on the table and said, Messi, if you openly agree to stay at Barcelona, I will resign. And where does this put Messi? It puts his back against the wall with a sword aimed at his chest. Why? Because if he takes the option of okay, fine, I'll stay at Barcelona if you leave, then we already blame Messi for having too much player power, and now he'll go under history as being the player that got a president removed. And if he goes the other way of saying, you know what, no, I made my decision, I'm leaving the club, then some fans will criticize him and say, you know what, you could have been the player to save Barcelona, you could have been the one to give us hope again, but no, you took the selfish route. And quite honestly, even if Messi took that route, I don't think it would really change much. Yes, Bartomeu is the issue, but he is not the whole issue. I think it's a greater percentage of the board of directors. I don't think it's just him, that one person really putting Barcelona to where we're at now. I think it's a whole conjunction of board members. With that being said, realistically, I don't see Messi staying. For that reason, we're going to break down what Barcelona will look like next season without Messi. Let's get to it. I would like to say, guys, in this video, it will be the Barcelona team that we have right now. And we're just going to pretend like we cannot sign any players. We're getting rid of Messi. We're getting rid of Suarez. Okay? And the reason why we're doing this is so we can analyze where the biggest weaknesses are in our team. So when we look towards that transfer market, in which we will do next video, we can really understand where we need those players instead of just making purchases just because we can. And I would also like to say, well, yes, Messi and Suarez are great players. Let's be honest, guys. As they age, they stop doing their defensive duties. And I don't necessarily mean tracking back, defending the ball. No, I mean pressing that back line, really giving them a problem. Exactly what Manchester City did to Real Madrid in the Champions League that ended up knocking them out. You know, it's a tactic that the coach can implement to the players. And you don't necessarily have to have the right players to do that. It's just a matter of teaching them, building chemistry, and just coaching them to press high. Again, guys, this lineup is going to be based on previous videos. We're going to be piggybacking off of it, and where I went over what players at Barcelona should stay and what players realistically we should be looking to get rid of. So then those players that we said we're going to be looking to get rid of are not going to be in the starting 11. That's where we're going to be missing some players like Sergio Roberto, like again Luis Suarez and Messi. Also, there have been reports that Koeman wants to run a 4-2-3-1, so that is what we will be basing this lineup off of. So with that being said, let's get to it. Let's go ahead and break down the back line. And of course, we're going to start in between the two posts. Now, Ter Stegen will be hurt for the start of La Liga. So realistically, I see Neto being that goalkeeper. And then obviously once Ter Stegen comes back, Ter Stegen will fit right back into that spot. And then we're going to go from the right back and work our way. So the right back, Semedo, I think he has a spot secured for now. I don't see him having too much competition, which is potentially something we could look for when making transfers, right? Give Semedo a bit more competition. In the right center back, we have Lenglet, again, one of our best defenders this season. I don't think he has much competition. And now we move over to the next center back position, which last season we saw Piqué start the majority of the games. Now, next season it's going to be critical that initially he does start, but as the season progresses, that it becomes kind of like a transition for the younger players. And in my eyes, we have Araujo and we have Todibo. And in my opinion, Araujo is currently the better one out of them two. And quite frankly, I do like the way he plays, and he plays really well with Lenglet. So for me, Araujo will be that player that is transitioned. However, it is crucial that we start giving Todibo more and more minutes to keep improving him, to keep building up that confidence. It'll pay dividends in the long run. Again, this project that we're going to be working to rebuild is going to take years. And it all starts in really trusting the players that we have now and building them up. We can't just look to, buy a player that might potentially fit, but it also could be another flop. We have to start trusting our own players and building them up, giving them experience, similar to how it was with Ricky Puig. To the left back spot, in my opinion, it's one of the weaker areas in our team. Jordi Alba is a good player. He has been on the decline, especially when compared to a few years back. And again, similar to Piqué, I would like to see more of a transition year where he kind of starts giving up his spot to potentially Junior Firpo, who, in my opinion, is next up. Juan Miranda is another option, but I think we can all agree Junior Firpo is a bit better. But I don't know if he's convinced me just yet. So that could be a potential area, again, to improve on. And now we move on to the midfield. And as Koeman said, it's going to be the young. The player running the midfield. The team is kind of going to be built around him. And he's going to be fitting into one of the two center defensive mids, right? Playing as like a single pivot or a double pivot. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to bet my money on a double pivot. And next to him, it's most likely going to be Pjanic. Again, we just got him. We're going to try him out. However, Riqui Puig is also an option. And potentially, if Vidal stays, which I don't see it happening, he would actually fit there pretty well as long as his physical shape is still top. But both Pjanic and Riqui Puig are good options. They're not the most offensive, which I probably would prefer a player with a bit more defensive mindset. However, both of these players, I think, could do a good job. And I think they're really good players. Definitely not a weakness on the team. Next up, we move into the attacking mid, and, well, Coutinho's back on the team. So, initially, this was going to be a potential vacancy, a potential spot for improvement, but with Coutinho back on the team, I think he fits it perfectly. I think we can all agree, when we used to play him out wide, on the right-hand side, that's not his position. He's a central attacking mid, and in this position that Koeman wants to play, right, again, that 4-2-3-1, this fits perfectly. Coutinho giving him a lot of attacking responsibilities. He is going to be the man that drives the attack. And I think it suits him perfectly. As well, I wouldn't be surprised if Griezmann actually slots in there a few games just because of how well his physical stamina is and how well he can defend even as an attacker. Next up, on the right-hand side, again, guys, without Messi, I think Messi would have slot there if he were to stay. But realistically, I think it's going to be Dembele this year. I think Dembele will step up. I think little in little he will start showing the player that he was in Dortmund. The player that he can be at Barcelona. And next we move to the left-hand side. And I think the best fit for us is to continue to give Ansu Fati minutes. Keep growing him. And honestly, get the most out of him. He's young, he's energetic, and he's hungry. I mean, he's already back at practice while everybody else is still on vacation. He wants it, guys. He really does truly want it. And as a substitute, we have Trincao, who is technically known to be a right winger, but I think he can fit into any one of these positions as a substitute in the dying minutes, just to give the team a little more life, a little more energy. And finally, for that striker's position, without Suarez, honestly, naturally, I think it's going to be Griezmann that sits up there. And why do I think this? Again, I'm trying to get Barca to push, to press on those defenders, kind of like how Suarez used to do back in 2015. And again, like I mentioned, Suarez and Messi just can't do it anymore. But without them on the team, we can improve on that aspect of our gameplay. Pressing that back line and giving the other team nightmares. We know how much Griezmann likes to run, whether it be chasing back, doing his defensive duties, running all the way back up to get into the attack. I think at that striker's position, given the responsibility to, again, just keep pressing that back line, he will do a lot of damage to teams. So guys, that concludes the starting 11 for Barcelona next year. With that being said, let me know which positions you find the weakest based on what we just talked about, and potentially who you would like for Barcelona to bring in to strengthen those positions. If you enjoyed the video, hit a big thumbs up. If you want to see more content similar to this one, hit that subscribe button. And again, guys, in next video, we will be going over potential transfers, how they fit into this team, if they fit into this team, and what they can contribute.